Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope y'all doing well this Saturday. No telling what your plans are. Over here, we're working on taming our little portion of dirt with cleaning, weed eating, grass cutting, just weekly stuff that has to happen, just like everybody else. Keeping stuff in order and keeping life moving forward as we prepare to go back to school and football cranking up and sending off to college and all kinds of good stuff happening. So we're grateful for that. We're working on plans as a church. Our rotation of our small groups rotating through attending live worship will run out at the end of this month, August 23rd will be that last Sunday. And so we're working on plans on what we're going to do when that runs out and what our plans will be going forward with this rapidly changing environment. So we'll be communicating that out in the not too distant future to you guys. But in the meantime, you can gather in your groups and you get to come through live worship. And so as you gather in your groups or are attending live worship in your groups, you're live streaming. So we're watching it later and worshiping together. And I want to encourage you to a couple things and just ask you some questions and love for you guys to comment as well. How are you sharing the gospel? Man, I'm hearing great stories, some fantastic stories of groups inviting people to come and they're being part of their group and they're attending in their homes and they're being exposed to the gospel and hearing the good news and checking out Jesus. And how stinking cool is that? We've had visitors come into the building as it has been opened up as folks are coming through for live worship. And it's just good stuff, man. And I've said from the beginning, the question we all need to be asking is, what is God saying to us, his church? And I guarantee you, it's not anything about governments and restrictions and anything like that. It's for us. How do we see Jesus building his church? Because he hadn't stopped. And so the question is for us is, how are we reaching out and inviting people to see and savor Jesus Christ? And so the good news is that's happening. That hadn't stopped. Jesus is still building his church, and how fun is that? So keep pressing into that. Love for you guys to share some stories about how you are sharing the gospel with your coworkers or your neighbors. How are you preaching the good news? Continuing to stay in front of my Muslim friends and inviting them to be part of things and sharing with them what we're doing and asking how they're doing, and really going into that as best as I possibly can, reaching out to folks I meet in public, and having a chance to follow up with some conversations on other people. So guys, the gospel opportunities are rich and ripe. Don't miss them for the sake of something inferior. Preach the good news of Jesus Christ, his kingdom, his reign, his rule, his salvation. Invite people to believe, and then plug them into your small group and bring them on your Sunday you get to rotate through. How fun would that be? So let's keep doing that kind of stuff. This Sunday, just wanted to remind you, the Esme group, the Wood group, and the Thompson group are going to be rotating through this Sunday. And want to remind you, the doors are open. So if folks are looking for Jesus, looking for a church, the doors are open. So we want you to be there in plenty of time to make sure you have greeters at the front door, greeters upstairs, and folks helping make sure we have enough chairs set out within the guidelines and framework and parameters that we have to stay distanced, but also make room for everybody. So we want to make sure that's all set up and ready to rock and roll, and able to hand out Lord's Supper elements and that kind of stuff in all the manner we need to do it. So make sure you're there in plenty of time to do that. Don't be rolling in at 10:30 because we do go live. So you need to be there in plenty of time to greet, make room for folks who are wanting to come inside from outside. And I mean that not like literally indoors. I mean that they're looking for a place to be in. And so we want to make sure we greet and welcome people well. So please be early enough to make sure that happens. And for the rest of the groups you're going to be attending through this cycle in your week, you get the reminder by email. Make sure you're there in plenty of time and ready to set up greeters and set up the hand sanitizing stations that we have and welcome people and all that good stuff. Just stuff that's necessary to be functioning well. So I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday. Love for you to share stories of how you're sharing the gospel and inviting people to Jesus, inviting people to get connected to his covenant fellowship, the church. And share those. I'm going to post this on the membership Facebook page for you guys. And and I'll post it on the public page for you guys to see it as well. Grace and peace to you. Hope you have a great Saturday. Look forward to seeing you soon. Out.